Hey all, Tony Bing here. Hello and welcome to my Queen of Limbo endgame guide for Magik for Marvel Heroes Omega for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now we have a nice simple range summon guide here and it really is a whole lot of fun. So what we'll cover in the video, so you can follow this guide yourself, is we'll look at the skills and talents. We then check out the synergies, we'll look at the infinity point allocation and where we would place the first 100 points. We'll check out the general gearing priority for the build, and then at the end of the video we have some gameplay to show off how the build actually works as well in regards to rotation and skills. Now in the description in this video there are timestamps, so if you want to jump to any section feel free to do so. Otherwise let's have a look at the skills first. So for the rotation and the skills we've got a really nice simple setup here and it's really ranged and summon we're using. Now on the first set of buttons we have skills we're using a bit more often, and then the second set is more our summon ones that aren't used as frequently. Now the main spender is Spirit Fangs, and this will also gain increased damage from the summon damage tag, so do bear that in mind when you're gearing. We then have Soul Brand. This provides a slow vulnerability. Through talents it's providing additional vulnerability for Magik and our demons, and on top of that it regenerates 280 health and you restore free spirit when you hit an enemy affected by the dot on it, so it really is a fantastic skill there. Now the next one we use, this is Sorceress Eruption. Now we're not using this for the damage, we're really just using it for the weaken, and we do have the extra space in our actual bar, so we may as well throw the weaken in there as well. It does all add up from a defensive perspective. Now after casting the two of them, they're on a 8-second rotation because the actual buffs on them or the vulnerabilities last for 8 seconds. You would follow up with Command Lesser Demons, so you'll summon your demons with this, so when you start off a level do use this and the next demon skill, but you also want to place this into your rotation and use it every 10 seconds because it redirects the demons and it allows them to do an additional attack as well. There you can see it's a leap attack if I scroll down a bit. The next demon we have anyway, this one's great for the range builds because he's fantastic at tanking, is the Command Fist of Astyr, if that's how you say it. I'm never sure when I do these videos for Magik. So again, you will use this at a start of a level to actually summon him, and you'll use it every 10 seconds, and he'll do, let's see if we scroll down, he'll do, let's see, it's the demon already summoned, they'll attack the targeted location, and it's Seismic Slam that he does, so it's 50,000, and he also taunts for 5 seconds as well. So that's really pretty great there. And the next skill we have, it's your signature. This is Otherworldly Nova. Does a nice amount of damage, stuns the enemy, and on top of that you'll regenerate 40% of your health and restore 40% of your spirit. So you do want to use that often because otherwise you will run into spirit issues with her. Now we would use this signature, and through talents we've got it that it buffs our summons, and then we follow up with a skill that has exactly the same cooldown of 30 seconds, and this is back from Limbo. So you'll call in a minion that you've actually got from various points in the game. At the moment I'm using a demon from, I'm trying to think what level it was actually on, I'm not sure offhand, so what I'll do in the description when I find out exactly where I got the demon I'll leave a comment there, but it's a pretty great looking demon and it fits in well with the theme for her. But this will summon that, you'll get a dot, it'll do damage on its own with its regular attacks, and on top of this you actually get increased damage from the summon damage tag on the power as well. So that will be buffed from your signature because your signature will buff your summons, so it works out great using them in that order. But next up, let's have a look at the talents. The first talent we have here then converts our main spender from a cone attack into a more single target faster hitting attack, and it's Fleeting Souls. So the main attack we use is called Spirit Fangs, and with this it fires fewer projectiles and a tighter line at a higher rate, and the spirit cost on them comes down as well, so this does help our spirit issues using this particular setup. We then have Blood in the Air, so Soul Brand increases all damage Magik and our demons deal to affected enemies, so that's the extra 10% vulnerability we looked at in the last section. And next up it's Limbo's Enforcer, so this will transform the Nastrief into the Fist of Nastrief, if that's how I say it again, and this is your tanky type summon, so it really works great for a ranged build, you can keep all the aggro off you. Next up, it's Restless Spirits. So with this one, you automatically trigger 2 Vengeful Spirits when you use Spirit Fangs, which we will be using most of the time, and the same with the Sorceress Eruption, which we're using as well, and also Soulbrand there. So it's nice, extra damage layer without having to actually have the skill on your bar, so that's always great. But final talent is Otherworldly Command. So when you use Otherworldly Nova, which is your signature, your demon minions deal 100% additional damage for 10 seconds, and that's why we use back for Limbo after having cast your signature, so you get the additional buff on the Limbo summon there. But next up, let's have a look at the synergies. For the synergies then, we start off by looking at the primary attributes for Magik, and that's energy and fighting, so you're provided that by Gambit and War Machine. Our more generic synergies we use are Blade, Hawkeye, Hulk, She-Hulk and also Squirrel Girl, and for Magik, Doctor Strange, Magik and Rocket Raccoon all work out great because they either provide magic power damage or summon power damage, so that really does help us out a lot there. But next up, let's have a look at the Infinity Point allocation. So that's right, once more you did guess it, I'm once again using the Mind Gem and Deep Thought. So this provides an additional 250 spirit, and we really do need this. If we don't have this, then you're going to have to itemise for sustain for your resource. I would much rather put my points here instead, and then it means when it comes to gear I can just concentrate on things like crit rating and brute rating and damage rating as well there. Now when you get to a point that you feel that you don't need spirit anymore, what you can do is actually start putting your points into health, and the main reason for that is your summons can actually feel a little bit squishy at times, but their health is based on your health, so if you increase yours, theirs in turn will increase as well there, so that's something to bear in mind. But next up, let's have a look at the gearing setup. So with this gearing section here, what I will do is give some just general guidance on where you want to go with the build, and that means that as and when new gear comes out you can apply the tips here to help you decide if you want to move your items around. Now if we look at the legendary first, previously I would use the Warlock's Eye, and the reason for that is I was under the impression that the way summon damage worked was the same as PC, but it's actually not. So on PC your summons would gain damage from the summon tag, the flat damage tag, and also the mental, energy or physical tag, whatever one was the highest damage rating. Now the tags have all changed in console, so we no longer have that, so unfortunately I did get it wrong there, so I hold my hands up to that, so apologies if anyone did purchase the Warlock Eye. I will say that it's a great legendary for other heroes, such as the likes of Scarlet Witch, which most players will have, or Doctor Strange, or even Ghost Rider as well. But for Magik, because she is more on heavy on the summon side of things, we want to go for Neptune's Trident, because it has a summoned ally health, the 1500 damage rating to summon powers, and quite a few of her main powers actually have the summon tag as well, so that does work out great. And then it's got the flat critical hit rating as well, and then the rank 4 and 5 procs that are nice. That's the legendary anyway. For the medallion you've got the choice of going for either range damage through Mandarin, or you could go Sinister for the buff to your summon damage, or even Ultron again can work great with summons. For the relic, we're going for Relic of Xandar. This is the best option here for damage, so it's the range damage rating it offers. Now we don't normally cover the artifacts, but there's 3 here that are just so good for Magik that I have to show them off because I think they'll be best in slot for quite some time on her. You have the Iron Legion Armour Sheath, you then have the Tomb of Oshtar, and also the Sharibus Neotium. This one in particular really looks like it's made for her, because when you use your signature summoning in extra demons, so it adds on to your army of demons already, and it can look pretty amazing when that happens. So that's the gearing covered. What we will do now to show off the build is we have some gameplay. It's a run through of the Sinister's lab operation. We'll do a full bounty clear, take down Sinister at the end as well, and as always I'll mention this is purely just to showcase the actual rotation and how the build works. It's not showing how it works in best in slot gear, because I don't have best in slot gear in all these heroes that I'm previewing at the moment. But as always, I hope the video was useful. If there's any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll see you all again soon.